Yes, Queen, yes. So, in the year 2000, after humanity had overcome Y2K, a few other things happened. I graduated from Thousand Oaks High School. Oh, you're aware of it. Anybody live in Thousand Oaks ever? I didn't think so. Not with the fucking cheers. You wouldn't cheer for it. It's boring. I graduated from Thousand Oaks High School. Was top of my class. And I decided at the time that I had already learned everything that required learning, and the universe or my parents couldn't teach me otherwise. Something else that happened in 2000, I applied for and was accepted into the prestigious San Francisco State University. My parents, perhaps knowing something that I didn't, actively suggested that I go to the local community college, Moore Park. It's a fine school by all accounts. I think one person went there. But as I already said, I knew better. So sight unseen, once I graduated, I headed north and found residency at the old Mary Ward Hall in San Francisco State University. I had it in my mind that I was going to move from small town Thousand Oaks, 45 minutes outside of Los Angeles, and become just a sort of darling of urban homosexuality that was just beginning to appear on television. That was going to be me. People would know my name. Anyway, so, but I brought with me the sort of sheltered attitude that living in the 805 all your life provides, living it up in the 805. So I sort of settled into a fiction where I lived in San Francisco and I was living the dream. But the dream consisted of my dorm room and the rooms that surrounded my dorm room, and not much else of the city. See, the only bus, and I should say not bus, but train that I ever took was the M train, the M Ocean View. It stops right in front of San Francisco State. And I had it in my mind that in order to fully round out this lifestyle that I wanted to lead, I needed a job. Now, my parents, no, they're actually my parents, but like, they had other ideas, like I should focus on my studies, and they would pay for everything. But fuck those beans, I need a job to make this real. Now, because Satan is alive and well among us, I had a family connection at a little Italian restaurant downtown called Buca di Beppo. Oh, you've heard of it. So I boarded I pretty quickly obtained a host job at Buca di Beppo, and my life consisted of me going to school during the day, boarding the M train at school, taking the M train to the Powell Street Station, and I shit you not, there was nothing more beautiful to me at that point than coming up the escalator from the Powell Street Station, and like the Virgin Records megastore was glinting in the summer sun, and it was just such a symbol of darling urban life in the most like suburban lens of urban life for me. But just riding that escalator that was fueled by like shit and hetchy lelectricity up into like Union Square, I would work my shift. I would leave my shift smelling like meatballs, board the train, ride the train back to San Francisco State, go back to my dorm, masturbate for about 20 minutes, study for about 10 minutes, go back to sleep, wake up, and do the whole thing again. So 6 months into living in San Francisco, my life in the city consisted of San Francisco State, Stonestown, West Portal, that one that's really tall, Forest Hill, Castro Street, Church, Van Ness, Civic Center, and Powell. I never branched out of that. Twice I emerged in the Castro just because, and then whoop, right back in. So now, I mean, it was literally the Hogwarts Express for me, and like the Dursleys was State, and Hogwarts was Buca de Beppo, and that was my whole fucking existence. Now, has anybody worked in restaurants before? Please. You have some late nights, and a lot of times I'd be running for the train at the end of the night. I would grab my fucking Harry Potter book, and I would run for the train. And this night was no different. It was a Wednesday, I believe, probably around midnight. And I ran and I got on the M train, and I was super happy about it. And then the worst thing that can happen to a human on the bus happened to me. I fell asleep. I know. So the next thing I know, I'm being poked in the chest by a broom. The blunt end of a broom, not the fun octopus end of the broom. By a Muni driver who's telling me, get up and get out. And there's no one else on the train. And fucking Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix is gone, you guys. Gone. And it was just, yes, you fucking feel my plight. And it was just when Harry and Cedric were about to go into the fucking maze, and I really thought that they were going to repair their relationship, and spoiler alert, but, Triwizard Tournament was in high fucking effect. And this guy's poking me with the rough end of a broom, and I'm just going, Harry, where are you? After I gather myself, I realize by looking out the window that I am in no place in San Francisco that I have ever been in my life. And I ask politely, excuse me, sir, when does this, I seem to have fallen asleep. When does this train turn around? And he said, it does not. And I said, when does the next train come? And he said, it does not. And I said, okay. And I got off the train and I said, please help me. This was before apps. I said, please help me. I'm trying to get to the university. I don't know where I am. And he goes, you're fine. Just go up the street, go up the hill. You're going to be good. Great. So I walk up the fucking hill. I find a school. It has a library. It has admin buildings. It is not San Francisco State University. And I'm wandering around going, holy shit, my parents were right. I ended up at City College. But I'm smart. I'm fucking with it. And I decide I'm going to make this work. I'm going to figure this out. I don't know where San Francisco City College is. It might be in Colma. I don't know what Colma is at this point. So I go back to the fucking, I left the train, where the train was last left. Train is gone, like a fart in the wind. It's fucking gone. And I figure I'll just follow these tracks. I'll follow these tracks back to where they came from. And I do. And I'm starting to get nervous because if anyone's ever taken the M all the way down there, you kind of go through people's backyards almost. It really is just up and over and through the Glen. And I'm following the tracks. I'm getting nervous, and I'm remembering what my grandmother told me when we were traveling once. We were in a weird city traveling, and she said, if you ever get nervous, you're ever in a weird place, and the sun is down, just sing I Will Always Love You. And honey, you sing it as loud as you can. So you sing the Whitney Houston version, not the Dolly Parton version. Although she did preface and say, just because you can sing loud doesn't mean you should. She was a wise woman. So like Dorothy before me, I followed the road and sang, if I should stay. And if you know the words, you can help. I will be your way, so I go. I don't know the words. I think of you each step of the way. Thank you. And she said, my grandmother told me, nobody fucks with a grown person singing Whitney Houston in the middle of the night. Now I got through maybe 6 versions because ultimately not that far to walk. Walking past people's homes in the middle of the night, just belting, and I will always love you, get the idea. And I found my way back to San Francisco State. I had accomplished something, an adventure. Now, one would think that this accomplishment would inspire me to spread my wings and experience more of San Francisco, but if anything, I kind of doubled down on my isolationism. And for 2 years living in the dorms, the M was the only bus I rode. I had a very narrow understanding of San Francisco, and I ultimately folded and moved home. But about a year in Thousand Oaks kind of reminded me, like, you missed out on something. So I had a connection with a house, and I had some friends that were moving north, or that were going north. So I popped a ride and was dropped off in San Francisco at the Stonestown station. Very familiar and not a great way to relaunch your career in San Francisco. But I took the M train to Castro Street and came up to the ground level and boarded the 24 and headed north for the first time. Thank you.